So a few days ago, I posted a video of something very interesting, the Oppo Find N2 Flip. Now, this is a folding device coming out, hopefully, very soon. Should be unveiled sometime in the middle of this month. This is produced by Oppo, and this, of course, does take on the form factor of something like the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold line, although you can see a few really big differences. One really big important thing here, which you can kind of see on this portion here, that this thing appears to have a very minimal crease in terms of visibility, which is something we shouldn't be too surprised by. We did see, you can see just a little bit right there. We saw in the Oppo Find N that the crease was very minimal. But if we let this video play forward, I think you can see the big thing here is this cover display. My goodness, it is absolutely massive. Now, today, what we're going to be talking about is basically how Samsung is rumored to be responding to this. We're looking at a 3.26-inch cover display on this Oppo Find N2 Flip. So, Samsung, with your itty-bitty, teeny tiny cover display compared to, the Moto Razr, compared to this in particular, is beginning to look like a bit of a weakness. But like I said, we do have some stuff to share. So the first thing we have to keep in mind is, does Samsung actually need to worry about this device? Is it actually going to be going, to markets, to regions that they're really competing in? And the answer apparently is yes. Ice Universe says Oppo will start Oppo Find N2 Flip all over the world, which puts pressure on Samsung. Competition is a good thing and it benefits consumers. The next bit comes from Ross Young, who has 25 years experience in the display industry, CEO of Display Supply Chain Consultants. This guy pretty regularly gets information on displays being made, and you can use this information to kind of approximate information about upcoming phones. He tweeted a while back something he told his super followers, and then he made public. Looks like the Z Flip 5 will have a much larger cover display, somewhere in the order of 3 inches or larger, and a different hinge design, which could reduce the visibility of the seam, the crease, as I would probably call it. So what we have here is Samsung really, taking a look at this Oppo Find N2 and kind of going directly at it. We're going to make the cover display bigger. We're going to make the crease harder to see. Now, you should also probably expect this new hinge design, reducing the visibility of that crease. Probably going to come to the Z Fold line as well. You can see here on this Flip that is turned off that crease is pretty visible. Granted, it is actually Z Flip 3, and it is relatively old now. This is my Z Fold 4. Again, the crease is very visible, much more visible than it is on the Oppo devices. Now, of course, we still have to contend with the other specs. This Oppo device, while also having that large cover display, which Samsung is apparently going to get close to matching, you do also have a potentially superior primary camera. Maybe it's a higher resolution. The Samsung software might end up being better, but a larger battery and faster charging. 4,300 milliamp hours and 44-watt charging is a big step up over what the Z Flip 4 has at 3,700 milliamp hours, and then the charging rate is significantly slower. I believe it is down here. Yep, 25-watt wired and then 15 wireless. So there are definitely still some places where Samsung is going to need to improve things. Now, if we think about the Z Flip 3, 4, they all look pretty much the same, and you're talking about making this cover display significantly larger, right? Currently, you're only looking at a 1.9-inch cover display. If they want to make that cover display significantly larger, and they want to keep the layout here the same, right, with the cameras here on the side and then your cover display next to it, there's really only so many options to go with, right? And it's this area here above the cover display, which is exactly what Oppo is doing with the Find N2 Flip. There's really nowhere else to go with this than to do pretty much what Oppo's doing here. I should point out as well that this thing looks very strange. That's because it's wearing a case that is meant to obscure the device. So no, it's not going to look like that. That is pretty much a case meant to disguise things. But if you look at the Z Flip device and you imagine expanding that cover display up higher, that's pretty much what it's going to look like. Now, do I think they're going to go quite as far as that and go all the way to the edge? Maybe not. But at any rate, it does appear that that is their intention, to make this thing significantly bigger. If you wanted a drawn version of what I just now said, there you go. That's pretty much the only place to go to make the screen larger. So there you go, guys. Obviously, a lot of factors still to keep in mind. Samsung probably will have a more high-end system on a chip. Where's the price going to be? The availability, you know, we're hearing worldwide from Oppo. Does that mean you're going to be able to actually buy this thing in North America without importing it in the United States? All this stuff does remain to be seen. But at any rate, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on more, and I'll see you on the next one. Until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.